Guys, wait. We can't start the show yet.
You mean we got that deal from New York Prime Beef lined up, right?
Hell yeah, we got that deal. NewYorkPrimeBeef.com offers a wide array of steaks dry-aged to perfection and carved by an expert butcher to provide you, your family, and guests with the best steak they've ever had.
For example, if you guys have never had any Wagyu steak, they've got this beautiful little Wagyu sampler. You can get yourself a 16-ounce A5 Miyazaki Wagyu strip, a 16-ounce A5 Wagyu ribeye, and 2 8-ounce A5 Wagyu fillets.
I don't know anything about meat, but you kept talking about meat. It's good?
It's real good.
And with the promo code FRIES15, you get 15% off all the Wagyu you could handle.
And all the regular dry-aged and fresh meat.
That's NewYorkPrimeBeef.com, promo code FRIES15.
Lock in your holiday meals now.
It's waiting on fries. That you don't get it? What do you mean you don't get waiting on fries?
Hopefully the customer never hears waiting on fries, but all this time on the entree and it's perfectly executed and then you're like,
ready to go.
I forgot to fire the fries.
I just always use that when I forgot to put somebody's order in, and I was like, hey, I'm just waiting on the fries. It's going to be 2 more minutes. Realistically, I come back 10 minutes with the food.
Exactly. They just know that their food's not there and the server said they're still waiting on fries.
I guess we're just waiting on fries. I got like a phone call out of nowhere the other day from Just, and he started telling me crazy thing. You okay?
Yeah.
Oh, you look scared. He started telling me crazy things about Twitch, and he was like, hey, tell me news about Twitch because I think I need to get ahead of the trends again.
Dude, because I read an article that millennials and stuff like to watch that better.
They do.
Why
Some of them.
Said that they like to watch Twitch streams more than they like to watch traditional sports.
I mean,
that doesn't mean it's bumping Sunday football by any means, but we definitely got to pay attention.
Yeah, there's definitely some stuff to pay attention to. I've definitely seen, there's this one game called Rocket League. I see that on TV all the time. I know people play Warzone, but, I just see Rocket League more often.
Well, listen, a lot of guys don't know what Twitch is. They don't know what video games are. My father would joke at me all the time for playing games as a kid, where he's like, I was doing this as a kid, and I was like, yeah, Pops, because you didn't have video games as a kid, right? So they didn't exist for the older generations. They don't really understand it. They understand Mario. They understand Super Nintendo. They have no idea what's happening right now. And I'm not saying like, oh, spend all day playing video games. You're not going to accomplish anything and likely not get paid for it. However, there's a whole younger demographic out there that are buying tickets to go watch guys play live video games.
Hey, don't you have a little Twitch channel?
So, I stream for the reason of I want to collect my winning games. That way I can break them down and then have them. I won my Warzone game again, and again, and again, and usually again.
What's your KD ratio?
It's not about the KD. I got 50-plus wins in the chamber. Come see me in the streets.
I'm so lost on this conversation right now.
But regardless of the thought process, and that's exactly what the point is.
You don't play video games anymore just to, beat the game?
No, I play it to beat everybody else's boyfriend. I do that intentionally. But here's the thing, you said it right. You don't really understand it. You don't really follow it. But you do understand one thing. When you see number stats coming out about how many people are involved, how many people are watching, how much this industry is forecasted to continuously make on the front end and the back end, you know that maybe it's time to get involved a little bit. So Just called me, and he said, hey, explain Twitch to me. And I gave him this long breakdown about how guys make money on Twitch. And what happened was, in early COVID, a lot of people had really turned over towards live streaming because they were playing video games and had nothing else to do.
So this is like OnlyFans?
And sports were gone. So it's like OnlyFans if people kept their clothing on and were interested in watching somebody else play games. Gotcha. Now here's the kicker here.
People are interested in watching people play games on OnlyFans.
That's a different type of...
The clothes thing.
That's a different type of thing that we could put up in the TVs here at Smokehouse. So with him saying, hey, what's this whole esports thing? There's people behind it. Are people interested in it? We ran a little bit of a question poll last week saying, hey, would you be interested in seeing esports up on screens in your bar or restaurant? And a lot of people said, yeah, a very healthy amount. It wasn't a 50-50, but it was very close. And the thing is this, with things like Twitch allows you to stream a camera on you where you can see reactions, and it also documents what you're playing so you can see the screen being played. And the allure of it, I think, for a lot of young guys, first off, is to watch how their favorite players are playing and learn new techniques and get ahead. And then from there, they genuinely kind of become fans of these people and their personalities. There's a guy on there, Dr. Disrespect. He's in 80s retro gear nonstop. He has high production value of his Twitch channel. And
What does he play?
commands... What?
What does he play?
It was dominantly Warzone for a while, and he was jumping back between PUBG and some other game. It doesn't matter what he's playing. The thing is, he has a huge following commanding him because he's in character. It's almost like a G.I. Joe.
People get into this, right? Because I put on the bar actually this weekend after I called you with that curiosity. I threw it on. We happen to have a smart TV back there, so it was cool. Downloaded the app, signed in. Couldn't really find your shit on there, so sorry I didn't give you any views. But
That wasn't lying.
I just went to like the most viewed, like whoever had the most views on there.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, there was like 20,000 people watching this one stream, so I threw that on the TV.
What was it?
He doesn't know. He doesn't know, but he knows that people are watching.
It said 20,000 viewers was the number one. Whatever it was the most watched thing at that moment.
Yeah.
And that's what I put on the screen because I don't really care otherwise. But
Okay.
I put it on and I saw the guy, like you could see the guy
The
playing.
little screen of the guy,
Yo,
yeah.
yeah, like the full costume on and all this stuff, like going into it. I was like, oh, these guys are like, they're like into it.
That's
And I'm
funny.
not gonna lie, a couple guys at the bar were like, oh, that's pretty cool. You got like whatever game it was. And they're like, oh, you're playing that right now. That's good.
That's really funny. I have a short relevant story. I was watching this guy play Cyberpunk this afternoon right before I bought the game, but it was watching a Twitch stream of the guy playing it.
This is a new big game that has just come out, and no real new big game has come out for a while to give you some color on that.
That's
Continue.
not true.
Continue.
Tony Hawk came out last month. But anyway.
Oh, I know what
Nobody's
Tony Hawk
watching.
is.
Yeah, see? That's relevant. But anyway, no, it was funny. I just tuned into this Twitch stream of Lex Friedman playing Cyberpunk, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy this game.
And I'm going to be very honest with you. I didn't use Twitch, but I opened up YouTube and I looked at some of the game just to see what it looked like.
Yeah.
I want to see how far the games have gone and see the graphic quality and what things look like. And these things lead towards sales, I think, at the end of the day. For the video game industry, that is.
Not
And
to go too far away, but Cyberpunk said that they paid back all of their development costs in the first day because of their pre-sales.
It's phenomenal. And that's why a lot
Wild.
of people push pre-sales. Call of Duty did similar pre-sale for Cold War that was coming out. And the question is, why are we fucking talking about this right now? Because this is a bar and restaurant podcast in which we talk about business. And
The
here's
reason
thing.
why is because I wanted to know if I could get people
If you could bring
to
people
come
in the
in and
door.
sit at the bar just by throwing Twitch on a Tuesday night when nothing else is going on.
And the answer is?
I don't know.
Oh.
We don't exactly. It needs to be a trial and error. But I just took some stats earlier in the middle of the week here about how many people were tuned in the middle of the day. 12 o'clock Eastern, that's 9 a.m. on the West Coast. Warzone had 150,000 people tuned in. Cyberpunk, 270,000 people tuned in.
What about Slaughter Race?
Fortnite, 154,000. I have no idea what that is. Among Us.
You never saw Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet?
No, Jay, we don't have kids. We've never seen that.
Yeah, Among Us is a game that many people know. It's on your phones. Kids are playing it. They have
Yo,
to guess
Among Us is fun.
who's the person that killed somebody else. 145,000 people watching this thing. And now to give you like some real color on how big streaming of games can get, League of Legends took place a tournament in South Korea, and it had 100 million people streaming it, watching what was going on. That's insane. So to capitalize,
Koreans are a different type of people.
yeah, and to capitalize on things like this, yeah, New York has an esports team for Call of Duty, the Subliners, and that franchise fee just to own that is $25 million. And that doesn't count any of the extra fees that go on. They were planning to sell tickets in Madison Square Garden until COVID hit, coincidentally at the same time. And guys are watching, guys are buying the products on the back end. So if you're to tell me that there's some big event happening in Game World and you don't pitch a flyer around it for your bar or restaurant, you think it's not going to get a little bit more traffic in here? We talk about new creative ways of getting people into the bar atmosphere or getting into seats that haven't really been done before. And I find myself commending Justin for trying to be like, hey, let's get ahead of the trend here and see if it works. Let's throw the meatballs at the wall and see if something sticks.
Oh, the meatballs at the wall.
Yeah, you throw meatballs at the wall and you see if something sticks.
I've never thrown meatballs.
Sounds like a waste of meatballs.
So here's the real thing, though. Right?
It was metaphorical.
That's the front end.
The metaphorical meatball.
Because you spend like hours making those meatballs, you don't want to throw them at the wall.
No, he's saying like putting the Twitch on is the meatballs.
And the wall's the TV
wall's
the
the
wall's
TV that
mounted the TV on.
So it's
I was
like
about
I'm
to
just
ask,
gonna
what's the
throw
wall?
the Twitch on and see if like you know
Throw it
if
on
I
a
get a
wall,
reaction,
see what happens.
which I'm
I get
doing.
it. Yeah.
So
it's
the
not-
question is, how do you make money on it though? Also on the back end, this is what Twitch does. It's owned by Amazon. Every single time somebody
Are you
subscribes
saying how
per
does
month,
Twitchers make money or how does the bar make money?
it's telling
drinks
you
while
how to
they're
make
watching
money.
Twitch.
You
The bar
just-
makes money just if people want to go out to watch it.
Yeah.
If they're like, oh, that place throws a Twitch on one of the TVs, they'll go
Throws a
out and check
Twitch
it
on.
out.
So
Is
that's
that how you say it? Throws a Twitch. It's a Twitch.
so that's
It's like how we used to talk about Twitter.
that's the byproduct, right? You put it on, people show up, and you make money because you filled an additional chair with somebody that was maybe interested in this quote unquote championship or something that was going on. Now, with Twitch itself, though, when you go in there and you create an account, it's owned by Amazon. Every single time somebody subscribes, you get $2.50 per month. There's people out here with hundreds of subscribers making a little bit of
You
side
get
money.
$2
How many subscribers do you
per
have?
subscriber.
It costs $5 per subscription. If somebody wants to champion you and say, hey, we love the fact that you're doing this and we're going to keep watching you, right? With that, Amazon keeps half, you take half of it. So now if you have a Smokehouse TV Twitch account and it's airing local players that are playing all around the place, and you tell the local players, hey, I got your name up here, you're playing, advertise that shit to your group, we'll give you some type of kickback. Now all of their fans become your fans, and they want to go, yo, you want to go watch him play at the bar? He's playing right now. If they're into that, of course, right? It's a smaller demographic. Or
So to have him on your Twitch channel, you'd have to have him playing at the bar, and you'd like,
no, you could play at home, and they could just air it right on Twitch from the Smokehouse channel. And guys are awarded a free subscription every single month to Twitch from Amazon as long as you have an Amazon account. And then you can choose where to put that every single month. So this could give you a little bit of money for the restaurant also, just hosting guys on Twitch. They wind up subscribing to the Smokehouse account because they love you, they're coming in. And then on the other side of things, you can actually take advantage of that Twitch account and run through the back of the kitchen with your phone. And you can even be showing things get cooked on the line all night. You know, that could be interesting to see.
yeah, we
for
talked about
people.
having like a time lapse of like food being plated or food being rang out to the dining room.
Yeah,
that sort
and
of
it
thing.
wouldn't necessarily be a time lapse, but a real deal operation where there's a camera facing down on the grill top or whatnot, or the expo
wouldn't want it
line
over the
showing all
grill.
the food come out, which it could be fun to watch that and see that. It
Keeps
can
you on
even be
your
fun
toes,
seeing it in
too.
the front, you know?
You know,
Yeah.
side byproduct of that is
Yeah.
everybody's got to be on their game because you got a camera on you. You got to make sure you're
Got to make sure you're not slacking off.
yeah.
Totally, and with that, I think they have to sign some waivers that they're going to be on camera.
Put
and
one on the
whatnot,
bar
though.
too. Like watch the bartender
Yeah.
cranking out a good service bar every night.
Yeah.
They're just different ways to do different things, and
I took a picture of my service bar the other day. By the way, did you see that?
Did you put it up on that Instagram page that we were looking
Yeah,
at that
it was
one time?
it said, that's selling sex, Jay.
he sold a little sex. But when you have that account, when you have a dedicated Smokehouse account, and you've got a list of 10 guys that stream maybe in the local community that have some little following or whatnot, you can put them in there in a hierarchy. So anytime they go live, it takes over your streaming channel. When they're not live, it could default to whatever else you want. But there would always be somebody essentially streaming in the place. And like, I'm not going to say I'm excited about it, but I think it's a cool idea.
This is a cool idea.
Thanks.
All right. I'm done with you, jabronis. Let's move on.
Move on to some colder stuff, perhaps.
Man, this guy. I was busy getting fired at Yard House while sampling beers across the street on my break when I was 23. And this guy is getting national television spotlight. Well deserved, of course. Ultimately winning a chopped competition. But before that, ran through the gauntlet at the iconic Peter Pratt's Inn in Yorktown. He opened Madison Kitchen Largemont. Finding great expansions.
Hold on. Wait a second. I just got a text message. Big news. Big news.
What's happening?
All right, officially now. You remember we talked to Austin back in the beginning, the early days. We were talking about his company, New York Prime Beef,
Yeah.
and all the different nice cuts of beef and everything. If you went back and listened to that episode, you would get a good
What was it,
idea.
like episode 4?
You probably start
3 or 4?
Yeah, was it 3, 4?
it
Go
was
back,
3 or
listen to them both, whichever one you get right.
Yeah.
But anyway, you'll start salivating some nice cuts. He just texted me. If you listen to Waiting on Fries and you go to NewYorkPrimeBeef.com, okay, and you order whatever you want from there, steaks shipped directly to your house. I don't care where you live, anywhere in the country, next day or 2-day shipping, unless you're that guy in India. You're out of luck, dude.
Did you say steak?
But you go to NewYorkPrimeBeef.com and use the promo code FRIES15 and you get 15% off your entire order.
No shit.
Just texted that through, just for our listeners.
Fries 1.5 on New York prime beef.
Can we stop talking about hot food right now? There's ice cream on the goddamn table.
It is melting.
And,
There is ice cream melting, but I'm excited for those steaks.
And we got Nicky Scoops in the
I love
building with us
steak.
to talk about all this ice cream stuff.
What's up, boys?
It's absolutely absurd that you just went to the steak side of things, although that's very appreciated.
I got excited. It's like,
I get
Did
it.
get
Yeah,
excited.
Justin, I'm
That
with
was
you.
exciting.
I'm with
you
you.
get a nice Wagyu shipped to your house tomorrow,
That's what I'm
15%
talking
That's
off.
awesome. Yeah,
That's what I'm talking
I
about.
hear you.
It's kind of crazy because a lot of the guys that we talk to on here too, they go through this gauntlet, if you will, though, Nicky, of like starting off as a super young kid in this business and kind of just like learning the ropes, in which you go through every single position kind of, you know, in your journey up to where you are to this day. And everything kind of just, we talk about the building blocks where everything you learn gets reapplied into some other things. And, you know, I was seeing that you started when you were a 14-year-old kid. Like, you don't know shit coming into this business.
So funny you said that. Everything, like, now I'm 35 years old, right? And Bona's pretty established, even though obviously COVID's like destroying everything food business.
Oh, yeah.
Especially here in New York. But
Can you wait? Justin has to open up one
Sorry,
of these
this-
ice cream
Ice
sandwiches.
cream
I knew I was
sandwiches
coming
in front of me.
right? And Justin, when Bona kind of like did its, what we didn't know what was going on with Bona, right? We just knew that like we got a New York Times review at the restaurant, and people, you know, they suggested that we should sell our ice cream in pints to go, and I was like, that's an amazing idea. I was 28 years old, started selling it. I was like, you know what? There's a farmer's market in the Larchmont train station that's literally, I could walk there. It's like a 2-minute walk. I was like, I'm going to lie through my teeth, get this ice cream in that farmer's market. And I'm going to sell it every Saturday, make a logo, whatever. So we started doing that, and it just kind of hit. It was just one of those things that like was really special. Sell it every Saturday. The restaurant became busier. Everyone was talking about it. And so I didn't know what, like, how to sell the actual ice cream. Like, it sounds stupid, but like, what do you do with it now, right? Do you sell wholesale? Do you sell scoops somewhere? So we tried everything. And one of the things we did was like sell wholesale to like what I thought, in my opinion, were like the cooler restaurants, right? So like Smokehouse, Justin was like big supporter of the brand.
I
And,
remember,
like,
not to interrupt you, but
no,
I
go
remember
for
that
it.
day when you came in for that tasting, and we just sat at the corner of the bar there, and
Yeah.
you just tasted us through all the ice cream that you had at the time. It was really good because that was the first time that Smokehouse had gotten into like craft ice cream. Before that, we were just getting ice cream from like Mount Pleasant or something like that. But we actually had good specialty ice cream we could try to build a dessert program around.
Well, everyone, you know, even me, like before, like, so when I worked at Peter Pratt's Inn, right? I started when I was 14 years old. Literally, I would ride my bike to Pratt's, and I was less than a mile. My parents' house was less than a mile from Pratt's. So growing up, there's like always this
Super
like,
convenient.
it was so cool, bro. I actually lost a bet one day to one of the chefs there, and I had to. I was late to work. I'm late. I was late today. I'm late to everything.
We were all late today. Sorry.
I'm always late. I have a problem. Like, I'm always late. Like, the older I'm getting, it's
Nobody would know that you're showing up late everywhere, and they're not isolated instances if you didn't say it though.
I'm always late. No, it's just like a thing.
It's part of it.
Yeah, it's part of it. So like, I mean, lately I've been way better with it. It just actually helps so much not being late. But
It's kinda nice.
Yeah, it is nice. But so the joke was with the chef that you know, dude, I drive from Rockland. You live fucking down the road, and I'm here on time.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, in Wacky Kitchen World, there was a bet that I could crawl home faster than he could drive. I was like, I don't know. I don't even know. I was somewhere between like 15 years old to like 17 years old. It's really stupid, you know?
Well, you're experimenting life. You're taking stupid bets in general.
Bro, it was just, I grew up in northern Westchester, so like, just psycho. It's just like, it was weird. We all like weirdly found each other. Same group of friends that I grew up with, like in second grade, we're still friends. Like, we all just found each other. It's like, I can't explain it. But like, so somehow I lost the bet. So my parents' house was on a corner, and the bet was to the fucking mailbox. And I got to almost to the corner, like pretty much the middle of the side of the house. So I made it on my property line. I just didn't make it to the fucking mailbox. And at that moment, I had rocks in my hands, in my knees. Everyone's laughing at me.
Tell me there was like a trail of guys that was also working
Yeah, they're
with you at
just
the
drinking
restaurant.
beer.
Just watching.
They're just drinking beer, watching me.
That's great.
Like, you're fucking stupid.
That's great.
Like, so like, yeah, like, it's actually, I guess it's funny, but not really.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah, but yeah, so like, I grew up working in a restaurant, you know, and
That
then-
actually, that story ties just working in a restaurant.
if you
period
know
altogether.
working in a restaurant,
You
that
understand
story
that.
like
Yeah.
isn't really that far off. Am I
Everyone
right?
has that equivalent.
Yeah, I mean,
Totally.
exactly. So that like literally working in a restaurant since I'm 14 years old. So
It's like we're the two busboys in waiting. They're always like in the back smoking weed
Yep.
by the dumpster. Like that is every single
Trying to get high
restaurant.
off the whipped
pretty much.
cream.
Yeah, whippets.
Fucking Nick and T-Dog.
No, but that really just it describes where we come from and in this group of misfits, if you will. Like people aren't stupid. We just are entertained a lot more easily than others, and we don't find sitting there doing paperwork jobs like something that we want to do. We gotta be hands on, and every single day is a different day with a different fire to put out. And like that's where you thrive, I think, in this business.
I mean, it's definitely a crazy business, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
To
what everyone
anyone.
says.
I promise. Like, yeah, I heard that so much. Like, obviously growing up in it, but I fucking really mean it from the bottom of my heart. If you think you want to do this, but you might have something else lined up or whatever, just
Go
do
with something
something else. Do something else. Like, I don't know, take a cooking class, whatever. Learn how to cook or learn how to like make a cocktail or whatever.
That's like a useful life skill to know how to cook.
It's awesome, right?
Yeah.
Especially for like a chick or whatever, bunch of people, a party. Yeah, you could do that whole like you could turn the switch and be like entertain the whole
Yeah.
crowd. But do not do this for a living. Seriously.
It's
Trust me.
accurate.
That might be the most emphatic like warning that we've ever heard on here.
It's your opposite of everybody.
But
No
Yeah.
matter what.
regardless, you got stuff through it though, and you wound up learning through
I'm
the ropes, and you were just like, "Let me do the best that I can in this fucked up restaurant business world that we're sitting in."
So I mean like I was lucky I grew up at Pratt's, right? So the crowd at Pratt's was older.
Literally,
Ju-
you grew up there because you started at 14. You were there
Literally.
for like what?
Dude,
8
it was
years?
my second home. It was like my safe spot.
Yeah.
I could go there with my friends at 4 a.m. and start cooking scallops. And you know, like after the bar, we'd go to Pratt's and like John Pratt, the owner, he's like the coolest dude in the whole
Are you
world.
opening up another ice
It's the
cream
same
sandwich?
one.
He's
It's the same-
tasting different ones.
I'm
Same
gonna
one,
open, I'm gonna
same
open
one.
mine. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it is gonna melt. I mean, you guys got so these are my favorite, and like we need to actually make more like different kinds of ice cream sandwiches. It's just there's so much labor that goes into them.
I just put this in the freezer. I don't want it to melt. It's gonna.
They're legit.
I really want to fucking eat it. I'm not gonna lie.
you can
I
take
don't
a
want
bite.
to sit here.
You
and
should
take a bite.
you should take a bite or
No,
two.
I don't want to
take a
sit
bite.
here and have a conversation with you
I'm
guys, and
telling
then I
you,
got
though.
all this ice cream
And
in my
they're
mouth.
like tempered.
Just take a bite.
Zach, like
Just
how
take a
good is
bite.
that classic right there?
It's fucking delicious.
Yeah,
man.
it's so
The
good.
vanilla ice cream and the cookie, it's
It
perfect.
just tastes exactly how it should taste.
yes,
yeah.
it's perfect.
So mad at them.
You won't be in a second.
That double chocolate's crack right there. It's just like pure chocolate goodness.
He's trying not to smile.
It's really good.
It hits you like at the end, that little umami kind of linger thing,
Yeah.
little crunch.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's all over my face. It's
Goddamn.
good. I stepped on the scale. I gained 8 pounds over the course of the last 4 months on COVID. I don't want to touch anything terrible right now.
Sorry,
And
my ADD's kicking in.
Dude,
No.
you nailed
Yeah.
it. Absolutely nailed it.
Right? I mean, that's a classic. It's all right. So, like, the only critique you could say it's like it's soft, but like, show me a crispy
It's soft,
cookie.
but it's been sitting out for.
But show me a
as
crispy
long as-
cookie that's not going to smush ice
I
cream
rather
out
it's
the
soft.
sides.
Yeah,
to be
I
honest.
prefer it
Right?
soft too.
I prefer the softness too. It's way better.
So
It's perfect.
I got the
that's the
double.
glutton. That's the glutton right there.
I got
That's like super buttery.
brownie on one side, cookie on the
Yeah.
other.
When I get a crispy chocolate chip sandwich for the ice cream sandwich, and I bite into it and it's crispy, I go, now I remember why I never ordered the chocolate chip
I'll
sandwich.
just let it
I like
sit.
Exactly.
I'll just
this
let it
one,
sit.
you can't stop eating it, and you want it again.
Yeah.
That's really dangerous. I've been craving ice cream for a while. Put that in the fridge later, Justin.
Yeah, you should.
right. Yeah,
I
wait.
put
Yeah.
it in the freezer. right back.
Wait.
This is your second home. You're walking
Pratt's-
into the place.
Pratt's
you
my
cook
second
scallops.
home.
Thank you.
I could go there anytime, any place. I work my
describe
way.
this space to the guys that
So
are regionally not here
Pratt's
with us.
is like a 300-year-old building. George Washington's base was across the street at the Davenport House. We know the owners of the Davenport House. It's in the middle of a community in Yorktown Heights, New York, which is the oldest like neighborhood.
But it's
in-
almost like on a farmland
Yeah,
kind of. It
so,
seems like
so
from-
Yorktown like is started off as all farmland. We're the corn huskers. So like I bow hunt.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Like
pretty badass.
it just I bow hunt. And
That was
like,
the old Instagram hunting chef.
ND, yeah. So like
Tinder profiles like into bow hunting.
Do you know how many girls were like, "Oh no, you kill animals"? Like we eat chicken sandwiches constantly. What are you talking about? Yeah, I fucking kill animals, but I eat them and I cook them.
He's doing it ethically.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Like, you like organic shit, right?
Yeah.
This is fucking organic.
This is super organic.
Yeah, seriously, stop.
I
shut
will
up.
get it. I'm with you. I'm
Stop
with you
it
on
right
this.
now. But it's just that's how it is. There's woods in your backyard. It's a really awesome. Like, I wouldn't change my childhood for anything. Right? It's cool. We were safe. We were happy. We had like a bunch of freedom. It was cool. But yeah, Yorktown is like the Cornhuskers. It's all farmland. So Pratt's, his father and mother bought the restaurant, I think like right around like 60 years ago, like 58 years ago, something like that. And they had a bunch of money, and we were living this lavish lifestyle, and we bought this gorgeous old inn and made a restaurant out of it, and got a chef from France, and it was like supposed to be this thing. And them, just like everybody else, got restaurants, right? They wanted to own this thing that everybody sees on that busy Saturday night, and how awesome it is to sit at that table and drink your
Pour out
wine,
drinks for
and
all
eat,
your friends.
and your friends are hanging out. Well, your friends are hanging out at the restaurant because they don't see you any other way.
Yeah.
So they've
Correct.
decided to go to your restaurant just because they want to see Nick or so whoever, right? Right. So but anyway, so the first year and a half, 2 years, this guy, he's from France. He's making this food. Guess what happened after that? Janet Pratt, mom, she's cooking. The family's cooking. John, the son, he's in the kitchen, right? That's what happens. That's the
And
restaurant
you see a lot of times when that happens too, though. Like, it creates this inner angst. Like, I told you it wasn't a good idea to buy a restaurant. And
Not a good idea.
Nah.
Yeah, I just keep repeating that. It's not,
Yeah.
guys, do something else.
Occasionally it works out.
No, listen, I say that 90% truth, and that whole 10% thing, like, that's just get used to that number, 10%. Like,
I say it all
those
the
are your
time.
margins. That's like
That's your
the
everything.
times you're happy. Like, yeah, it's just like the times you can see any of your family, your friends.
days
like,
off.
10%. Yeah, days off. 10%. Like, yeah, seriously.
I say it all the time too, but I think everybody needs to hear that and then still fight through it. And that's
So, like,
otherwise you don't got the chops.
If you hear it all the time and you still want to do it, maybe you can try.
Even now with COVID, man, I mean, it's that thing kicks back. You know, you could work your ass off and get established, or have something where you have your staff working out really well, and you got this, like, for the most part, well-oiled machine, and like you kind of did it. You got through the couple years of grind, and you have a now successful food establishment. But then something like COVID or a really good employee or anything, like, you get right back to that grind mode. So, like, that's the hardest part about the restaurant business. It's just in a blink of an eye.
We've spoken a lot of times too. It's funny you said that. Like, the right employee leaves. Losing one of those pillars, foundation of your restaurant, cripples you for a while. A lot of times too, because you've become so dependent on somebody doing their job so well, where you didn't even realize that you didn't have to be showing up to do various pieces of procedure that were just getting done because somebody cared, somebody knew the business, and somebody was that much of a valued asset to the company. Where, like, yeah, one of the pieces of the pillars disappear, and all of a sudden it's back to, like, rebuild mode again.
So
and you've seen that time and time again, starting at 14 years old in the restaurant.
So that's the thing with the restaurant, right? Like, there's so many, and like, the cool thing about the ice cream, it's a product, right? So you could, and it stays frozen. So, which is awesome, right? It's supposed to stay frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Well,
it's
it's
not
a
like
big
I'm like,
power
yeah,
outage.
trust me, it's really good after you freeze it. Like, don't freeze it more than 3 times though, because then, like, no, it's ice cream, so yeah, it stays frozen. So, but like, and even like this, like, I couldn't just, like, delivery guys who come in, like, you're over here cooking at the restaurant, blah blah blah. Delivery guy comes in every week. You see the guy, you have some joke, hey, black ass, or hey, whatever, that's your boy, like. You got one of the guys doing something weird, like, it's just like, it's fucking hilarious, right?
Yeah.
But you see this guy, this is your boy, you see him every week. And it's like, well, I can't give you a pot of pasta bolognese right now. I can't give you a filet mignon. I can't give you a lamb rack. But hey, I could throw you an ice cream sandwich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just something about it. It's just way easier. And so many aspects of, like, the food world. Like,
And that's something I think we should touch on in a while too, is going from having the restaurant into saying, now I have a product. Like, I agree with you. Having a product is far easier
So
than
there's-
managing everything that goes on.
But
in a
that's
restaurant.
moving
Just
parts.
so- just-
don't need
just-
a busboy. Don't need a food runner. Don't need this. Don't need that.
Don't need so many things.
It's so, like, when a main guy or whoever, a girl, whatever, a main person, a tiller in your business, who makes the best eggplant meatballs or whatever it is, right? Or is the early guy in the kitchen that kind of is your rock, you know, or whatever it is, whatever it could be. They, whatever, leave, move, whatever, find a different job, get out of the industry. It's, you're like on a 2-week crutch. Like everyone kind of is making up for it, and it's like, customer might complain about something, you're like, you know, you're too dependent on so many little things. That's a hard part, you know. That's
2 weeks best case.
yeah, I know. Get ads out ASAP.
Right.
Get those ads out. Call the people you have saved in your phone. Like call these people now. Like, you know.
I know that after you started as a busboy, and after you went into that, did you touch the front of house side really with the serving, or did you go straight into the kitchen?
It was never me, man. I secretly hate people.
Yeah, we all do.
Like,
whether you're on the front
like,
or the back.
I'm so bad. Like
The kitchen is the perfect place for you then.
kind of, yeah. Until like it's too hot and like you've done the same thing for
Yeah.
20 years.
You and Nooms are going to
yeah.
get along very well over there.
Yeah, no, people are like, "Oh, they want to see you." I'm like,
He's
I
on
don't
the
give a
front of
fuck.
house
I'm
now.
not going anywhere. They're like, "Well, you're not going to put a new chef jacket on." I'm like, "I'm going the fuck home. I don't care." Like, I did my job for the day.
Yep.
I don't
Yeah,
want to.
I'm
Like,
done now.
Yeah, I'm done now.
I cook food.
I know nothing about the kitchen to some extent as far as operationally how it goes.
You know where it is.
I know where it is.
Yeah.
I know where the line is to go get the food. Correct. But we were discussing a couple episodes ago also that the pasta section,
Pasta station.
thank you, station, told you, knew nothing. The pasta station is like where it all goes down. That's where you're sweating bullets, wiping your forehead 100 times throughout the night. Is that something that was in the restaurant or no?
I'd have never had a pasta.
There was no pasta
Yeah,
station.
no, we were never that fancy.
What was being made in the spot?
At MK?
Yeah. Well, no, before MK.
So
Pratt's.
at Pratt's, I mean, so Pratt's is like the coolest place ever. I'm like so lucky to like John. Because he grew up in the restaurant business. He was just so cool, and he definitely saw like talent in me and stuff. And by the time I became the chef there, like I worked my way up from busboy, and you know, I was like, yo, I'm gonna definitely do food for a living. And in high school, there was like a BOCES program where half the day I did culinary, right? So it was so weird. Like I sacrificed so many weekends and so many holidays and this and that. And like growing up, people were always like, well, at least you know what you want to do. And I was like, that's such a bullshit. It's like, yo, I'm making
That doesn't
no
really make
money.
up for it. Yeah.
I don't even know what like a holiday is. I remember what they were, but like,
It's like, I wasn't at that party with you.
Thanksgiving to me is like fucking 400 dinners. Like, you know,
Thanksgiving's a busy dinner
that's
night.
Thanksgiving. Like Christmas we're off, right? Cool. Christmas Eve, like if you're probably hungover and like it sucks, right? Like that's the restaurant business. So like,
Really funny when you talk about Christmas Eve too, and not to full side cut, but the different business models. It's hilarious because some guys are out early Christmas Eve, some guys aren't even open Christmas. I would sign up all the time to work those holidays behind the bar because everyone's so sick of their family at the end of the night. They want to go out and go have drinks. They got the cousins over that just turned 21 finally. They want to take them out to the bars, and you would make a killing. You'd walk out of the bar with like $800 and be like, fucking sweet, sign me up next week again, let's go. And it's different.
Christmas
though.
isn't weekly though.
Exactly. Well, that's the holidays you take advantage of.
he hates his family. No, but like, so Pratt's, I had a really cool experience. He knew what was going on. He saw that I had something in me, and I obviously did. And like, once I became the chef, like, all right, so I went to CIA, right? And I am not a school person by any means, even with cooking at a really awesome culinary school that I was there when I was 21. And looking back at it, it was such an amazing experience because it really was. Like, for lunch, you're eating steak au poivre and foie gras. You go for breakfast, you're getting these like insane,
Fresh
different
baked breads.
everything. It's just so fucking awesome, right? And I recommend actually. Like, there's so many people that are like, oh, hard knock, blah blah. Don't go to culinary school. You don't need it. Like, if you're gonna do this, if you're really gonna do this, what's another 60 grand? Seriously. Yeah. You know, I mean, you're gonna open a restaurant anyway, right? That's at least a half.
Get used to the debt,
Yeah,
you know?
dude, just deal with it, right? Fuck, man. So, but
That's
like,
actually not. I mean, it's kind of bad advice, but get used to working under pressure.
well, you know what? I don't know. I learned so much at culinary school, and I'm not a school person.
I gotta make that a T-shirt. What's another 60 grand?
Yeah, no, seriously. I mean,
T-shirt.
I love
you're
it.
fucked already if you're picking this industry. You might as well go to a CIA, get some bragging rights.
Exactly.
If you're ever going to make a resume, it's on there. You know what I mean?
It means something when you get to another restaurant. It means something. Just say you went to CIA over.
You'll get the
culinary
job
school.
for 14 an hour for sure.
Well, I'm saying, does it help to have that background when you're getting hired on the backside? Or is it like bartending school where it's like,
it definitely helps. It definitely helps because if you see culinary school on a resume, it kind of means there's certain things you don't need to say to that person.
There's
like
a level of professionalism.
Yeah, there's
you know?
stuff they'll just understand off the bat or expect it to understand off the bat. You know?
So like for me as a chef or whatever, right? There's like another language. Like if I want to speak food and like use real food terms and blah 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 blah, like all that stuff that's like real life. It's literally like speaking in like Spanish or French or Italian. Like it's another language. Like.
And you learn that at culinary.
But you learn that kind of stuff at culinary school. It's like another tier to like. I wouldn't say don't do it. You know, yeah, going into an industry where you're not gonna make a lot of money for at least 10 years, and like even when you're making a lot of money, it still isn't a lot of money, and you have to work your whole life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you're already picking the shit, so you might as well go deep. You know what I mean? You know, but like seriously, if I didn't go to CA, I don't know. Like I really did learn. Serious, like it was awesome.
Well, at that point, you were indebted also, so you had to keep going.
Yeah, I was
forward.
all in, man.
Like at that point, you're not just like, I'm gonna go do car sales now.
No,
like
yeah.
you're still doing that.
Yeah.
And at the point where you were the sous chef over at Pratt,
So sous chef at Pratt's, right? I'm really young, and it was awesome. And I learned.
what are you, 22 at that point?
Yeah, dude, I was 20 in college, so yeah.
So this is before you culinary
Dude,
school.
16, I'm on the line. 17, I'm like 17 to 18. I'm like a real structure at the restaurant, like in the kitchen. I have Pratt calling me on my way home from school or something. Like I remember I'm driving like a brown Honda Accord. I thought it was cool. I had like exhaust on it.
I know what it looks
And-
like too.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's 2002. It's
Not
kind
even.
of
I
boxy.
think it's like it's just bad, right? I think I had like the Italy reflector flag on the back. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely
like
did.
that was where we were at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 02, something like that, right? So
Remember that time?
I'm driving up a hill in Underhill Avenue. John Pratt calls me, boss man. Hey John. He's like, what was that thing you made for family meal the other day? He's like, I want to put it on Umami's menu. I'm like, so you're like, yo, that made me feel awesome. You know what I mean?
That is awesome.
But like, it was weird. Like, I don't know. Like, dude, I don't know, just like cook. I don't know. It's like, my friends are like, it's like this. You're just wasting your talent. I'm like, it's a dumb job. It's a fucking dumb job, bro. Trust me. I'm doing the right thing by not cooking. Like,
Did you kind of just mishmash things together in your head that you knew worked, or was it an actual dish though?
so like,
Like family meal is kind of just a mishmash a lot of times, isn't it?
I mean, sometimes family meal is like your chance to, in certain situations, be creative when you're not allowed to be creative in other times.
Nooms does
100%,
smoked pork butts at Manhattan family meal.
Yeah, because like that's what I know and that's what I'm familiar with and that's what I can do good and like show off for all these people that I get to work with.
It's not even.
Flex.
It's
Yeah.
definitely flexing, right? Because you get your like, especially for a young cook, like you have your hour or whatever to shine,
Yep.
right? And if you could like, yeah, you could take the same shit that's on the menu and kind of like make it for the staff, right? That's like basic. But
Yeah.
like if you could take, I don't know,
Some, like,
the
cultural
chicken
shit or,
thighs,
like-
yeah, and then like bam, like make a fucking dank dish, and everyone's kind of talking about it.
Yeah.
It's like cred right there. That's like kitchen cred.
Nice.
Like like young.
Yeah, I never even thought
That's
about
like
it
low. That's like low totem pole, like cred, like right there. Like family meals, your time to definitely
They show off. Yeah, for
Now
sure.
I feel like I offend the chef typically when family meal would come out, and I'm just like, nah, I'm holding off. I got something in the fridge.
Depends.
I'm trying
You
to
need
eat later
passion.
on.
I mean, if the
Yeah.
person doesn't have passion and they're fucking throwing chicken fingers and fries and
well, that's a
Then
different
don't do
story.
it.
telling you,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if
yeah.
someone like worked hard on something, put it up there, and you're like, "Nah, I'm good," then that's you're
If
kind
the
of
guy comes over to
I-
you,
I-
like,
I
you
didn't
realize
realize
when
that's
you work
what
so
he did.
hard and it's terrible. Yeah, ever happened to you? I'm not even. Like it's not even.
you
I
just
have
gotta be
such a
like,
bad story. It's like everyone looks at each other and it's just like.
So it didn't happen to me personally quite often. It happened a couple times maybe, but a lot. It was a thing where so our entremets were the ones who ran the pasta station at Manhattan, but they had the most intensive prep schedules. So they also were responsible for the veg in family meals. So if they didn't get their veg cooked properly, we'd all sit in the room and we'd all eat the veg and be like, "Oh, Dongwoo was struggling today. His vegetables not cooked properly, or the shit's oversalted, or something like that." But I know what you mean. It's
Yeah.
funny.
crazy.
You get to talk shit about them if they fuck it up. So
Always.
you try your hardest not to fuck it up.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it could be anything. You guys could be slammed as shit. Someone has to make family meal. People have to eat, right? It's a weird thing, family meal in
Yeah.
a restaurant, right?
I always feel bad when the whoever's doing it would come over with a plate made for you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you're like, fuck, I don't want to eat that guy's food.
I
Right?
have to eat it right now. Like,
Why is this guy cooking for me? Stop. No.
Chef at my last space comes out on my last day and said, I heard it was your last day. Usually I don't run around telling anybody it's my last day. Like, I don't need the unwanted or needed attention or pats on the back.
It's normal, though.
I agree.
Guys.
I feel uncomfortable in those situations. So regardless,
got a lot of
comes
last
over.
days.
What?
Got a lot of last days.
I mean, yeah. Over the course of the years, there's a lot of 5, 6 last days, maybe. But,
It's not so good, you know.
But sure enough, like, comes over. You like sweets? I don't want to offend anybody. Yeah, I'll do sweets.
You
yeah.
like warm apple pie?
Comes back. Comes over with this brownie and some ice cream on it.
Okay.
And I start eating it because I don't want to
brownie.
offend anybody.
Destroyed you.
And he comes back a little bit later and goes, "Oh, don't worry, you're gonna feel it soon." Mind you, I haven't smoked weed in
fucked
the
up.
last
he
like
snuck
8
it. All right,
years or
that's true.
so.
I don't know why I didn't
like
see
just
where I was going.
assumed I was one of those dudes that would like blow it down in the parking lot after work or something, which I never did previously anyway with the squad. So like, why assume
Just
it?
saying.
So sure enough, like, yeah, my last day was me doing a lot of COVID service tickets and just like staring at the printer screen trying to multitask. And if you haven't smoked in a while or anything, that's hitting
Bro,
you a
I'm
little
always
bit.
trying to sneak edibles on people. It's the funniest shit in the world. It really is.
I wasn't
It really
even mad
is.
though. I wasn't mad. I was like, oh,
So
I'm
then
not
you're
gonna
the
look,
perfect person to drug.
I'm not
basically.
gonna look like a bitch to start complaining about this
Yeah.
now. Like,
Yeah, but
we're holding.
people take me like real serious sometimes. I'm like, yo, dude, you gotta check this out. It's like an organic, like, dude, we got it at the farmer's market. This other chef guy gave it to me. Like, yo, the blueberry like tastes like blueberry. Say something stupid like that. And they're like, really? I'm like, it's so good. Oh my God, it's so good. They're like, all right.
Is now the right
Like,
time
I'm
to
waiting.
ask?
I'm like waiting. I'm like, eat it. Yeah, just eat it. Man. Like after, like, it tastes weird. Got you. Like, you're fucked. Like, yo, Marcio is fucking gonna be stoned all
your
day
next
today.
6 hours.
Should I ask if all of your ice cream sandwiches you give out are marked with that red X that was on that one or no?
I would love to do that.
I just ate a whole one.
I literally,
yourself.
And like honestly, I'm the worst weed smoker ever. I get like 1 or 2 hits. I will fucking start. I hit every bad thing that could happen to you in weed happens to me. Like I'll get so high where I can't stop talking, and then I can't stop talking, so I'll get dry mouth. And like you're like hearing me breathing. I'm like, right, and then I'm like starving, so like I'll just in front of everybody eat like 3 quarter-pounders, large fry, 20-piece nuggets, extra barbecue sauce, and I don't care, right? And then I'm like, then I'm like paranoid. Like it's just I hit like every bad thing that could happen with weed. It's not for me, man. I can drink, that's it.
And sure, it's not for everybody. That's why I had to cut it out of my life. But no problem with the chef. But I feel like I should have been asked first. Like, yeah, you want to touch a little bit of this?
Maybe, but you also only live once. So live
Yeah.
it up.
So we kept it moving. But so you were at Pratt. You went into being the sous chef. You were doing some family meals. Crushed it.
I'm at CIA, right? And the very last part of the associate's degree, which is the more cooking hands-on part of.
This was while you were at Pratt.
Yeah, I would go back to work on the weekends.
Gotcha.
And stuff. So I call up John, and I'm like, this last part, restaurant row. I've been working at a restaurant, and you need a chef. I was like, let's do this. Get it done. He goes, don't tell your parents. I was like, he's like, yeah. In 2 weeks, come by. You're the chef. Let's go. I was like, all right, great. I'm fucking out of here. You know what I mean? Like, I am. That's how like not a school person I am. I don't know. It's just like I was so happy to be done with it and back to work. If you will.
Funny too, because like I'm not a school person, but I can't sit there in front of a book and learn like that. I feel like I would learn better in a kitchen.
But it was so
environment.
structured, So like literally, like you had to do homework. You had to come with your recipe cards. I didn't do any of that ever. So like some chefs would see like some like raw talent and like you're fucking that was great or whatever, and you didn't even do the final project because I'm not gonna do it, but because I'm just not. It was and I'll still miss the 2 days you're allowed in every class because.
But you still pass the practical.
Yeah, and I'll crush the practical.
Yep.
So I have no reason to like get a B plus. Like seriously. And then other chefs were like, I remember Garmager class. I took it 3 times.
Explain that?
The Garmager, it's like
Salad,
people
cold
call it like the salad station, but at school, right? It is. It's And that's actually where I learned a lot about like tasting cold things. It sounds, but like ice cream is a sauce. Break it down real simple. Like ice cream's a sauce because it's a base before it goes in, gets turned, right? So there's a lot of things going on with the sauce: sweet levels, salt levels, whatever flavor you're making, and then there has to be some kind of like something to actually make it texturally too much fat, not too much fat at the end, right? So like when you taste things that are your body temperature warm, you taste them better. It's just like that's how it works. So when something's cold or going to be cold, you have to like over season it a little. So like when at Garmager we're making all these terrines, like cold terrines and stuff. And it's like some crazy old school shit that no one would ever really want to make, but
No one would ever put it on their restaurant menu. You're never going
Ever.
to eat any of this shit. It's just random shit from a textbook that you have to cook.
Yeah.
So they can pass a class.
totally. Which right sounds stupid, but at the same time makes you understand
Techniques.
so many techniques, right? Like it's smoking sausage and making sausage and making these terrines and
Or even before that, like grinding the meat properly. To
All
make
that
the sausage.
stuff, yeah.
Keeping the meat at the right temperature. That sort of thing.
you learn. That's what I'm saying. Like there's things that like I could look at and already like I know like 20, 30 things about it, where someone might just know like the two main things, but like why do those main things happen? So that makes like that's culinary school. You know what I mean? Like
That's similar to being behind the bar and tasting what's in your mixing tin before you dilute it. Because it's so much more potent before the 30% dilution goes into the shake or the stir, whatever it is. And what you're saying is that there is a full-on different taste when it's cold and when it's room temperature. And
So-
you're accounting for that as you're making something.
for example, ice cream, right? We're eating it obviously cold. You want when you're tasting the base, the warm base, you're steeping vanilla beans or whatever and cream and this and that, whatever. You're diluting the sugar in the warm cream. It's got to be like that sweet level where kind of almost not too sweet, where like it's like in your head, but like right at the top of your palate kind of thing. You get like that, like
Almost feel it.
yeah,
being sweet. Yeah.
It's like it's too sweet, but not like too sweet. If that makes any sense.
I'm smiling because I envision the back of house for Bona, you and a bunch of elves singing songs while making ice cream.
Dude, it's not that. It's really not that. Oh my god. Let's go, elves. Let's dance.
No, I understand. I fully understand what you're saying, though, and it makes sense.
It makes sense, right? Because your
Correct.
body, obviously, you taste things when it's your temp, and then when it's too cold, it just doesn't work. You know,
Yeah.
so you gotta over season to taste things that are cold. So.
Sure.
I have a question for you. You just brought up vanilla beans. As someone who makes ice cream, how much money do you spend on vanilla beans every year?
That is
Oh,
a
yeah.
struggle also from the bartender side because they're so fucking
Yeah, but he uses
expensive.
way more than you do.
Dude,
Oh yeah,
so vanilla beans. About 6 years ago, vanilla beans for 8 ounces,
Wait,
half a pound.
This before the monkeys or after the
I
monkeys?
was about to bring up the monkeys in Madagascar. Did this affect you? Did you hear about that?
Dude, the storm, the monkeys, whatever bullshit they want to fucking say to make us pay so much, triple the price. But yeah, the fucking monkeys, sure.
All of a
Yeah, they
sudden,
ate all the vanilla.
remember
yeah.
that.
all of a
Yeah.
sudden, the pure
Yeah.
bourbon vanilla extract at Restaurant Depot is in the safe
Shut
in
up.
the back.
Fuck yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like, dude. Oh, I just happened to put a quart of vanilla in this stock pot that I bought. Yeah. Sure, you did. Yeah. You know what's weird in the Restaurant Depot in that crate? They have like the better hairnets. Yeah, yeah,
They have all the good stuff.
yeah. They have the hairnets that are like $20. Like that's in there too. But all right. So vanilla beans, a year. I mean, if you gave me in 20 minutes, I could probably do the math on that. But like, for example, our vanilla ice cream, right, which has the most vanilla beans in it.
I saw the vanilla beans in that ice cream sandwich.
Yeah, it's all vanilla.
Yeah.
Every flavor has vanilla beans in it. 99% of every flavor has vanilla.
that the
What
starting
flavors
point.
do you not put vanilla in? Because I was making ice cream for a while, and I was putting vanilla in all my bases, but then I stopped because they all kind of tasted like good vanilla ice cream, and then someone would be like, okay, vanilla ice cream with some strawberries in it. You know what I mean?
So that's all. It's so weird with ice cream because it is cold and like I'm a big fan of like getting to that final product, right? So like I come at it as chef's perspective, bow hunting. The venison's still warm. It's on my menu, right? Like the farmer in Yorktown brings literally there's a relationship for 50, 60 years. You get all the first of the year this, that, and that, whatever. The corn got fungus. Now there's a sweet lacoche, corn mushroom, and they know that they're like, this shit's terrible. The corn got fucked up. I know John wants it. You know, like, yeah. You know, so, like, John likes that shit on the corn. You know, like, so, like, cool, yeah. We'll take $30 a pound local organic sweet lacoche fucking corn mushrooms.
You've actually cooked that?
Yeah, dude, yeah. It doesn't happen every year.
No, it
Yeah.
doesn't.
It's
Yeah.
really, really unique, right? So, like, all this, like the mint ice cream a couple flavors started at Pratt's. There was like 5 or 6 flavors that started there. And our mint chip, if anyone's had the mint chip, it's bright green.
Yeah.
And some people in the city are like, this tastes like basil. You're like, bitch, it's not fucking basil. We're pan-picking mint and making ice cream out of it. It takes us 2 days to make this shit. And God forbid we over-blanch or overshock the mint leaves. It turns fucking brown.
Yeah.
Now I have to throw all this out. Like, you don't understand how much
The amount
time.
of work goes
this is so much work.
I love it.
So like, Pratt is on 2 acres in Yorktown, and there's just mint's a weed, so like it just grows every year, wild mint. So like I have this ice cream machine. I would go there in my Chef Whites and get a bucket and go pick mint and wash it and make ice cream out of it. Like in my brain, it was like plant shock, make real mint ice cream, right? Use real vanilla beans, blah blah blah, right? But like to get to that final base, like strawberry, I'll be full blown honest. Our strawberry ice cream has over 120 pounds of real deal strawberries.
Compared to how much dairy?
We're getting like 18, let's call it 20 3-gallon containers. So 60 gallons. But the deal is with the strawberries, you could OD your ice cream with fresh fruit and this and that, but there's so much water content
It's
in
going to
fruit.
be bland out when it comes.
It's going to be
done.
icy. It's going to be so bland, right? So like there has to be that like perfect balance of like that good old fake stuff that makes shit taste good, and then like a solid base of like good stuff, like to get to there. You know what I mean? Like we use this it's called forget the free gel. It's like a gourmet. They're based out of Georgia, Italy, obviously, but they have like this giant facility and it's gourmet. A lot of like these gelato places, their products, and this is living like the rainbow cookie. We're buying rainbow cookies from Nutella. We're getting Nutella. That's the only flavor that I'm pretty sure we make that like has stuff in it.
Outsourced product.
Yeah, but it's you need it. Otherwise, it's going to be like really light pink, bland. It doesn't taste
Just
like
not
strawberry.
as good. Yeah.
It doesn't taste like strawberry ice cream.
Every time you're making strawberry ice cream, you're putting real strawberries in there.
120 pounds.
Over, yeah.
Combined with stuff that makes it taste a little bit better, like strawberry, and give you more of a punch. How much do you use, I guess, the bricks machine to check how sweet these strawberries are
No.
before you're throwing them in?
No.
Or can it be different every batch, kind of? Which actually puts a homemade touch on things at the end of the day.
I guess, all right, yeah.
A good way to cover up your mistakes. So, yeah, we're not consistent. It's homemade. We're good.
Until you've used that out so many times. Yeah, you know, the brownies,
You got a big factory. You're not making this at home.
the brownies are overcooked. You know, it's homemade.
But then the reason for even using real strawberries in the thing anyway is just for people to see them and taste them as they're eating
It's like
strawberry
I
ice cream,
can't use so much the fake shit to make it
Yeah,
fake. You know,
yeah,
and
of
it's not
course.
even fake. I'm sure I'm just calling it fake because I'm just calling
it's just
it fake,
not
right?
organic is what we're delivering.
It's
as
not
real
real
not whole
strawberries.
strawberries. Yeah.
So like
What is it, like a strawberry puree?
it
or
always
something?
comes out right there. Like we have the recipe at this point tweaked, and back to the vanilla. Like we're using literally almost $700, $650 of vanilla beans
Per batch?
just in a batch of vanilla, which same thing gets you around 60 gallons, 23 gallons container, 90 gallons, whatever. So like, yeah. So like you fuck that up, you're like, okay.
You're just going to turn into towel and be like, yo,
So
Nick, I'm out.
the vanilla was $600. Throw it out because you fucked it up, right? Throw it out because we're not serving bad products, right? We overused the it's homemade excuse so many times. It cost me $600, bro. Like so, like yeah, throw it out.
And it's a costly mistake. Also, when things go wrong like that, and you
Big
wouldn't even
batches,
expect that.
you fuck them up. Yeah, it costs money. You know.
We're in the process of launching a dried fruit garnish company here too.
Cool.
And bought the wrong bags. I said, thank God we only bought a trial of 50 bags to start things
Yeah.
out with, because then it's just you're just throwing a couple bucks away. It's not that bad. and having $600 in vanilla beans could possibly bury a startup that's kind of coming in that is strapped for cash as it is, or never ever make anything with heavy vanilla content again. Like, why is your ice cream shop not have vanilla ice cream? There's a lot of vanilla in there. Too much risk.
I had a guy.
Too much risk.
I had a guy call me once. I think I called
That's
him.
good.
He gave. He was looking for a job, and he's like, "I just moved to Georgia. From Georgia. I'm fucking broke. I really need a job. Like, blah blah blah." And it's like summer. It's last summer. Yeah. I'm like, all right, man. I'm like, listen, there's definitely work here for you. You're telling me you can do this and this. Show up tomorrow, this time. This person, I'm going to let them know you're going to be here to train you. So the base, like if you start working at Bona in the kitchen, we're going to literally make you meat cookies. So it's like stupid simple, right? It's like butter, eggs, flour.
But can you follow a recipe?
Yeah, it's a lot of that, right? And then like once you could do that, we're going to make you like chopped brownies and stuff like that. Like that's the first week, right? So we gave the guy the cookie recipe. And I think it said like 2 tablespoons, whatever the fuck it was, for vanilla extract. And like in summer, we run like the cool thing about ice cream is like I'm not playing like the food order game every week for like tuna from Hawaii's and scallops or the lamb, whatever, like, or even the lettuce. Like shit goes bad constantly. Like I could buy so much chocolate, it doesn't matter because the chocolate's gonna be okay. I could buy so many expensive vanilla beans because we're gonna just use it next week. We use it for the next flavor. So like that's in a chef's perspective of food ordering.
Convenient.
It's way convenient, yeah. So like I just had like a bunch of real vanilla extract like there.
I wish we could do that with tomatoes.
I'm saying it's like yeah, trust me. Like
Just give me a
sure the
pallet.
containers are full all the
Just
time.
let me get a pallet of tomatoes.
Yeah.
Be fine all summer.
Yep.
my thing is like the bananas go bad. Like obviously, it's like the avocado game. You know what I mean?
But
like,
at least with bananas, you
So
could like
dirt
turn it
cheap.
into like
You could still do
You can
something
make a
with it.
banana bread or something like that and turn it.
100%.
Yeah.
And then even if you don't, bananas are so cheap that okay, you got me, bananas.
Right.
You got me. $8. Good for you.
Next time.
So, but like, it's like this guy anyway. My chef, he calls me up. He's dying laughing. He goes, "Please don't get mad." He's like, but he's like, can't talk. He's laughing so hard. You guy, bottles of vanilla extract. And I know those are like $65 a piece, right? So I'm like, this dick just cost me $130 because he can't
his
make
first
fucking
day.
cookie dough on his first day. Like the first day worker in the kitchen's always awesome, right? Like they're making a huge mess.
Right.
Something weird happens. You're like, yo, the new guy's nuts. Like, there's always
There's like a
that.
50% chance they
Yeah,
don't
like
come
you
out.
don't know what you're getting. 50 isn't even like, dude, it's like a 10% chance. 10% chance like the person's normal and could actually work there. Something's gonna go bad. If it's not today, it's definitely tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, and if it isn't tomorrow,
If they don't
it's 'cause
just
didn't
walk
show
out,
up.
they don't just walk
Exactly.
out. It's like-
They
They don't just
disappear.
disappear.
Yeah, So I'm just like, fuck. How the fuck did that happen? Like, God, like that sucks. Now I need to go buy vanilla too. But like, it's fucking hilarious. So like, I pull the guy aside and I'm trying to like give him as much respect as I can. And I'm like, I'm not a dick or whatever. Like, listen, bro, I'm gonna be straight up with you. Like, you don't know how to make cookie dough. You put 2 bottles of vanilla extract into the batch. Oh, I'm sorry, blah blah. I didn't. I'm like, I know. I'm like, I get it. I was like, but you gotta understand, these bottles are like $65 each. Garbage. Like, really fucked up. Sorry, man. You know, I felt, obviously you don't want to like, you know, this guy was
You don't
like
want
really
to crush
trying.
them. Yeah.
Then like in true restaurant fashion, 6 months later, like at 2 a.m, get a fucking phone call and it's that guy. Tell me some weird shit. You're right. I mean, does that happen to anybody else or is it just
Yes.
me? Like, yeah.
all the time.
I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. I'll kill you. Like, leave me the fuck alone. Lose my number. Like, I was so nice to you, vanilla guy. Like, you fucking dick. You know, like, why are you being such a huge weirdo? Like, I'm serious. This shit happens.
Yes, it does.
All the time.
Like, you're so
All the
disgruntled
time.
and like you save my number and you hate my guts because you put $130 of vanilla into like $4
Oh my
worth of
God.
butter and flour. Like, why did you do that?
We had a delivery driver that we fired over the summer. You heard the story? It was the middle of a rainstorm, torrential rainstorm. He gets to the guy's house. Mind you, we're in the COVID too. He's supposed to bring it to the door and leave it, like, you know, contact free. Bring the doorbell and leaves. He gets to the guy's house. He calls the guy up and says, he goes, "I'm outside. I don't have an umbrella. Can you come get it from the car?" right? And I'm like,
Some Karen. And she's like,
No, it was
just got out of yoga. Like,
No, it was a regular dude. It was actually someone who orders quite frequently.
Cool.
So I knew the guy, and he's really not like, he never complains or whatever. He calls me. He goes, "Yeah, I just want to let you know, like, the bag like broke because it was wet, and like I lost my margarita, like whatever, because it was a $40 like quart of margaritas."
Yeah.
And the kid just like he didn't even get out of the car. He just like stuffed it through the window and handed it to him. And the guy's like, he goes, "Yo, you know me, I don't really complain about stuff, but like, can I get another margarita?" Like he wasn't even complaining, he just wanted another margarita.
Yeah,
and
he
he
fucked
was
his day up.
he was gonna pay for it. You know, he's like, this guy's in quarantine.
God.
It was still during quarantine. He's like, he just wanted to drink at his house. Driver comes back, I'm like, "Yo, did you get to the house and tell him to come out to your car because you don't have an umbrella?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Did you do that to the other 2 deliveries you took also?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right, you're fired." And he goes, "Why?" I was like, "Because you're the delivery driver.
Yeah, you're not delivering, bro.
It says contactless delivery, not call me and I'll come get it out of your window in the middle of a rainstorm. You fucking moron. What are you doing?"
Christ. Yeah, no, I didn't hear about that.
But that kid, his story is related to that. He kept the phone numbers from the deliveries that he took.
Damn it.
And like a week later, he called the deliveries. And we're like, "Yo, you know who this is? You're a fucking asshole." Blah, blah.
God.
He didn't even call me. He called the deliveries.
that guy was so drunk.
It's like-
so angry. Like some like 18-year-old kid. He's like,
Yeah.
"Fuck you, man." Like, yeah.
Hey, who's coming with me?
Yeah. You got me fired, asshole.
Yeah, you got me fired. You know what this is? Like, sounds like
Fucking
you're that
hate when
delivery
it
driver.
rains. Yeah, you know I smell like wet dog and it rains. Don't go out in the rain.
There's so many pieces to tackle about everything with ice cream in itself. It's like a whole. We can't talk to you for 12 hours straight because we would and be able to conquer all these different things. And leaving Pratt.
I'll just go to the depot. Really. If you want. Or whatever.
Well, listen, you leave Pratt, right? And I mean, I guess you didn't just leave Pratt.
No, I mean, I was like 27 years old. I've worked there for so long, and like literally, looking back at it, like I really don't have a lot of regrets. But like, I never worked in Manhattan. So like, the cool thing about Bona is I get to like be in Manhattan and Brooklyn all the time, and I get to see the coolest shit and meet the coolest people and learn the coolest stuff and have the coolest customers and like
'Cause it's
so
culture.
busy. It's culture. It's everything. Yeah. So like, So the whole back to like, well, at least you know what we want to do. It's like, but I also have this like design of cooking. My approach, like I'm fucking in the woods at 5 a.m, killing deer with my bow, and then it's on the menu that night. So like, guy in the city's not doing that either. You know what I mean? So
There's
like
a disconnect there, kind of.
big time.
Also,
So so anyway, like that was it was either I like go work in the city, but like I was so fed up because I've been doing this for so long, like I really wanted to like show off like whatever. So I opened a restaurant. That was I left to open my own.
so the conversation with John was like, "Hey, I
was
need to
cool.
open up my own spot.
Yeah.
Like, do I have?"
Yeah. I wish that like if I knew for sure like someone I like knew really close was gonna open a restaurant, like I would fucking give them every ounce. So, like
Totally.
tell you why that wall sucks.
Yeah.
That wall sucks because when people are gonna walk in, this and that, like I would just like give you everything. Or this is really good because of that. Like you're like I was used to cooking at like a super established restaurant that had like 300 seats upstairs, downstairs, outside. You know, I was able to do a lot of catering out of there, big holiday thing, like right. So like I went to that to like a 50-seat restaurant. So like my way of cooking worked at Pratt's really well. When I go to Madison, it's
Now-
a different animal.
Now,
you know?
build out Madison for the listeners.
All right, so dude.
This was your
Fucking
endeavor.
Old shitty building that we put way too much money into, and this was my first place. And I'm 27 years old, and I'm like so ready to just like grind work. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna make the best food I can and work hard.
This was after Chop, though, right?
So the crazy thing is, I was supposed to sign the lease the day I filmed Chop. So like I had these guys calling me nonstop, and like I guess I didn't say that like that was not gonna happen today. Like so, yeah. So it was weird. Chop came out 1 month after the restaurant opened. So like not only did we have like the new restaurant hype,
Also the chop hype.
and we had the Chopped hype.
That's like a perfect storm
It was a
of
great
media
storm.
alignment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The-
Yeah, and knowing that I won Chopped, I was able to kind of use that to my advantage, like hitting up like media outlets like Flow Hut, whatever. Like, hey, by the way, I no one knows yet, but I won Chopped and I'm opening my restaurant. Like, why not sell yourself? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, it all just worked. Like the first year was awesome, right? So, but like,
And that's the thing too. When guys open up restaurants, the first year is always awesome.
Yeah.
It's brand new. Everyone wants to check it out. You've got limited seating capacity. It's packed, right? Like that's something that happens all the time, and that's why we always say, "Oh, you made the 3-year mark." Like, that's the one. That's the one.
no,
right
for
there.
sure. Like, so I'll be completely honest. Like, our first year, we probably did like 1.3, 1.2, something like that, right? And out of a little restaurant, yeah, all the money that you made was all learning curve shit. Like, you bought too much of this, you bought too much of that, you overpaid that person. Your labor was like fucking 60%. Like, nothing made sense, right? So, like, you needed that money coming in. Whatever. So, second year, you're doing like 800, right? So that's the second year. It's like you're over your high, right? You got to stop drinking at the bar every night, hang out with your friends. Like, you got to get like real serious. Like, it's year 2 is the hardest year of owning a successful restaurant. Like, because you have to now tell
Continue
people,
to be successful.
continue to be successful. But like for me, I had to like doing Pratt's food at not a 300 seat restaurant where it didn't matter if we weren't busy on Tuesday because we did 240 people on Friday and then another 260 people on Saturday and whatever. Didn't matter because those 2 weekend days were everything, right? Plus the catering, plus this, you get a party upstairs. Outside's nice, the deck's
Plus,
fucking
it's
busy.
on like a farmland.
It's
like in
yeah, but you have
something nowhere.
all the seats in the world to make shit happen, right? This is a different animal. You have 50 seats, right? So like,
How many square feet?
dude, the dining room and with the bar was 1,100 square feet. With the kitchen was 1,300 square feet. It was a fucking shitbox, right? So bad. I've never worked in tighter quarters. It was like fucking nightmare. It was
The
nightmare.
front that much bigger of where we're sitting right now?
But like the tables were too close, like, and I'm trying to put this like, you know, center cut kind of blah blah blah, like nice, like more little not fine dining, but like really good food, right?
Oh, I saw the shots. I looked at the New York Times review
Yeah,
that
so
was
like,
posted
yeah,
up there.
we're putting some quality shit out, right? And like, whatever. So second year kicks in, I'm out eating small plates. Everybody at the restaurant's chopping up everything, splitting this, splitting that, right? And I'm not that busy during the week. I'm busy as shit, Thursday to Sunday, right? And then like, but for a 60, 50 seat restaurant, it's not the Pratt's numbers with a 300 seat restaurant, right? I'm like, I got to do something. I got to figure this out. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I just put literally my whole life into this. Like, I'm not going to let this like fuck me up. Like, I'm going to figure this out.
We've discussed Largemont at this is where,
Largemont's an amazing community to own a restaurant.
in a lot of senses, of course, this is my opinion, but there's no actual flow of highway into it to get the people from all the other various areas.
You're not, exactly. It's so hard. You're 15 minutes out just to get somewhere else. Like, you're close, obviously, to New Rochelle and then Aranic. But it's
those
so
are
out of
who's
the way.
coming in
Yeah.
easily. Now everybody
Largemont's so
past
out of the
that's
way.
a trip. Yeah.
Yep. It's so out of the way. So year 2 was literally, okay, I need to do something. Like, literally, the numbers are telling me, I know it. Everything, like, I have to figure this out, right? This isn't Pratt's, right? The learning curve, the first year, high is over. I one day woke up early, bought a bunch of new plates, and whatever I needed to buy, I walk in. By the time I get back to the restaurant, it's like 3:30. I grab my manager, and I'm like, come to the office. I was like, today? I'm like, today, I'm changing the whole menu. Everything is going to be small plates. We're doing this, and this. We're going to keep those dishes, cut them in half, price in half, smaller portions. I already told the kitchen. They're prepping it right now. We're changing everything. Small plates. Everything. And we're going to sell fucking $15 cocktails and sell small plates. It took 1 month. The first 2 weeks, anyone who hated it left, never came back. If like a cater like an ice cream event at their house, they're like, oh, we used to go to Madison. And then the burger became a slider. It's like, yeah, thank you for not coming back. Like, whatever. And then the next 2 weeks was the staff actually understanding what the fuck was going on. And then it would like just worked. Like, I'm turning people away on a Monday. So like, you know, I mean, when you have a small restaurant, you have to be busy
Yeah.
7 days a week. have to be. But like I was busy on a Monday,
try to
turning
get that
people
second
away on a
turn.
Monday. Oh yeah, I mean that's the game you play. Different game, it's different, and it's like you work harder, So like you gotta, it's like
Tapas model works though too, and we see it in White Plains. Lily's, for example, that was kind of
It's less of a commitment. That's the thing.
completely.
yeah, 100% the
Yeah.
commitment thing. It's
Oh,
like
if I don't like it, fine. It was
it was
small amount of money.
$16. It was
Yeah,
$14.
I split it amongst 3 people anyway. Two
we
others
had the
might
one
like
bite. It sucked. I'm not fucking stuck with a 12 ounce, whatever. Like
I'm drinking wine anyway, so I
Yeah.
don't fucking care.
it's just what, and it goes both ways. You could hit the women, right? You get a bunch of women. They can eat all light stuff because there's so much light stuff on the menu, and they can drink and hang out. Or you could hit the fucking guy who's a full blown pig like myself, and I can
just
order
order 4 of them.
Dude, when I go out to eat with my cousin Mike, the joke is we spend $300 every time we go out to eat. And I blame it on him. I tell him he's the most expensive date I ever had. But it's like we're just pigs. We order one of everything. Like the waitress would be like, "It's a lot of food." It's like, yeah, just get it.
That's like
It's fine. It's fine.
I feel like all restaurant people are like that. Though.
Yeah.
Dude,
Whenever I
Isn't
go
that the
out,
most
need
common
it.
way
I
to
need it.
approach a menu?
It's like we have only a 10% chance to go out to eat anyway.
10%,
So
yeah.
it's like when we
is
go
true.
out, we're just gonna be like, "Yo,
Just give me one of
I'm
everything."
out. This is the once this month. I'm probably gonna get to fucking
Yeah, doesn't matter.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
Just send everything."
I'll eat it. Trust me.
You
I say
convert
family
the,
yesterday. That shit sucked.
you convert the menu after about a year and a half or so
Yeah.
back into the small plates.
Dude, that was a game changer. That was like personally learning, right? Big time, like personally learning. And then it just worked. Like MK became this thing. It allowed me to like get that like steady staff, steady customer base, work on the things that actually needed to be worked on. And then it also allowed me to like branch out on other things. Now you have a base.
Did you see an increase in drink sales in that time period?
Well, you
too?
had that was the thing. Like if I ever owned a restaurant again, I like two things make you money: catering and selling drinks. Right? The drinks help your. I mean, like think about it. 12 seconds gets me $14. Right? You get $14.
12 seconds and $4.
Right? But it's $12 sale. Right? Call it a minute.
Yeah.
Right? Take a $12 appetizer. How long does that take?
Could be
2
hours,
days?
could be days.
Yeah. It just doesn't make sense. Like everyone loves food. Everyone loves good food. But like, it's just like, it's hard. Like if you know the business, it's like hard, man. It's a really hard business, and like, that's that camaraderie that everybody has. And because we're all like, we're hustling, we're working hard. It's a personal thing. It's not like a money thing. It's not like it's like we all do this for some reason. Somehow it's all kind of so like, but the drinks make you money. Like it's just easier money to be. Catering makes you money, right? Because it's controlled. You're not over ordering. There's no food waste. You get to make that bank. So like if I ever owned a restaurant again, I would have a food truck for my restaurant, and my food truck I wouldn't have to schlep kitchen equipment. I would have a food truck that would just do my catering, and I'd have an awesome bar program. And it'd be like small plates, stuff that's like inexpensive. A pizza or pasta or whatever. Stuff that like isn't huge cost. Like, because you need like, you work on those margins, man. Those margins are so. Those margins.
You're
beat
talking
you
to
up.
the guy that does barbecue.
I know
There's margins in the game.
those are hard. Those are hard margins. You always gotta have. Yeah, those are hard margins, man. I get it.
Suck.
Yeah, but there's nothing better than like.
I'm always telling Mike, pizza's like cheating. From our standpoint, when we look at pizza place, I'm like, I
Pizza
wish we
market's
sold fucking pizza.
crowded. It's so crowded.
No, I'm just talking about just the margins alone.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's super saturated, and especially in this area, you could find a good pizza place.
You got Sal's
Right next door.
Right.
There's like 3 pizza spots on this avenue. Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just
At least 3.
yeah. But pizza's one of those things where, like, I don't care what kind of chef you are, you could like takes you 2 or 3 times to make something great or whatever. Like, pizza takes you 10 years to do. I don't care who you are. Like, you're not just making pizza dough.
Yeah.
You're not. Like, pizza dough is one of those things in the food world where like you'll see like Bobby Flay, like, hey, we're making that on TV. He's not fucking making pizza on TV. You know why? Because he didn't put 10 years making dough. Pizza guys, their own crazy breed, but like there's nothing better. Like, in my opinion, the best thing about pizza is the dough. Like, you get really great tomatoes. You get some really great low fat, high fat, whatever cheese, make your thing, whatever.
Those are all products. Anybody can get them.
Yep. But the dough is everything. And it's like, yo, good dough has a 48-hour rest. You know? So you're making dough 2 days.
That's what my favorite pizza spot. I used to go all the time. I'm not gonna throw them under the bus because it's over now. But I remember the pizza guy. He was there all the time. There's a reason why he was there from like open to close every day, 6
Old
days
school
a week.
Guinea, bro.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yo, Bruno was there every day, all day
Hated his
long.
wife.
making
Bruno
the
hated
pizza,
his wife, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Fucking hated his wife.
And,
Hopefully.
Play golf every weekend. I hate golf.
I remember the first time I walked in there, I had the pizza. I was like, something's not right. I go inside, I don't see Bruno. I told the boss, yo, where's Bruno? He's like, oh, he retired.
All right.
Pizza sucks now. I was like,
I guess this is the last time I'm seeing you.
pizza's trash. I was like, what is this? Get him out of retirement.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, pizza. It sounds great, right? And like, there's actually a lot of successful. I feel like every good pizza guy I know like has a fucking Ferrari. You're like, fuck, you pizza guy, your fucking Ferrari, right?
So how long did it wind up going before you decided to make that ultimate, hey, it's time to shut this door down?
So the restaurant became super successful. 10% successful, right? And it was busy, and everyone was talking about it, and like, I ended up catering, and like, so like any like advice, it's like be a part of the community. And I'm not saying like give shit away, like, because that's not going to help you with your business. Like, yeah, here and there, have a limit, and it's really easy. Like, if you want to be like, hey, I have $5,000 a year, donate to the local school or whatever. The simple answer is, I'm really sorry. I appreciate you guys. Maybe throw them a drink if they're good customers and they come back. But like, I've hit my limit for the year. And people, if they're good people, if they understand, and they're asking you as a favor, like they'll understand. Like, I can't do it because you know what it's like to own a business, any business. That door is open to anybody, and you want to do the right thing. But like, you can't just give everything away all the time, right? So like have a limit.
Saw your Ferrari in the back.
Yo,
and they were
that's
like,
different.
"Here we
Fuck
go."
the pizza guys. Yeah, they have a Ferrari. Yo, take money from those guys. Yeah,
Free pizza every
free
night.
pizza. Yeah, but like seriously, like have your limit and like, sorry, I hit my limit for the year. We'll put you on top of the list. Like keep to that. You know, like they'll leave you alone for a little while until they harass the crap out of you. But like, yeah. So MK was awesome. It was established for what it was, and you start talking to local people. And there's a lot of clubs. I'm from Yorktown, so I kept hearing club. So I'm like, yo, I gotta get involved in clubs. And because restaurant before the small plates, the summers were dead. Mondays were busy because people were off, and the summer's dead. It's like a whole new world, right? So like, I have to get involved in these clubs so I can do something for the summer. So we got the snack bar at the Larchmont Shore Club. If I thought my kitchen was bad at Madison, right? And it was all new equipment, just the actual structure of just 60-year-old building. Like the Larchmont Shore Club, year after I did it, they like got renoed, $1 million kitchen renovation. So, with that said, there was not a range, not a stovetop, not an oven. I had 2 fryers, and the GM, this guy, here's his name. He was a sweetheart in restaurant business his whole life. He understood everything that was going on. He just bought a 6-foot charbroiler grill. He was like excited about it, like we could get better burgers, right? Bro, you could give me fucking a thing of coal. I'll make you a really good burger, I promise. I don't need a 6-foot charbroiler grill where you just took away 6-foot flat top. When 90% of everything, 50% of everything that comes out of this thing, other than the fryer, is a wrap, goes off flat top, a quesadilla comes off flat top, an egg sandwich comes off flat top. So you just fucking fucked me so hard, and I don't have a stove, and I don't have nothing. So,
But he's like, you can make a nice burger.
but yeah, thanks, because the burgers sell 15% of the whole sale. There's a bunch of kids eating quesadillas all day. Like, why would you do that to me, bro? Like, so anyway, we had 2 feet of space. So I put a 2-foot, like the smallest, most bullshit flat top, plancha, whatever you want to call it, you could ever think of, like the worst one ever. And all of our sales came from that little 2-foot thing. And I'm talking like pitched floors, open like garage, like I'm just like, but we crushed it and we did well and we actually made money. We made a decent amount of money there. And that helped the restaurant, you know, and those are your customers. And you see the same people over and over again. Like, it got to the point where MK, like, still, like, we were talking about this before, like, it's December. All my great customers that are, like, my friends hit me up every December and, like, hey, that lasagna or whatever, like, whatever you want. Endive salads, like, whatever, like, pig roast, right? It's December, I'm doing catering for all my old customers in Larchmont. And, like, but that's how you build local clientele. And, like, because you said Larchmont's a little bit out of the way, you have to rely on the regular customers. But it got to the point where I was lucky enough to kind of, like, pick and choose my customers. You know what I mean? Like, which is what you want as a restaurant. Like, they know what you're offering. They know who the waiter is. They know how it should be. This is what they want. They're cool. They're happy. Like, you don't want annoying customers. Like, life's hard enough. Like, so if you could pick and choose your people, like, because the restaurant's not for everybody. Like, you go to certain restaurants and you're like, I'll never go there again, right? But the place is packed. It's just not for you. So, like, you get to that point where, like, you have a relationship with local people. So, like, that was really important. And the ice cream being at the farmer's market brought customers. So, like, tapping into your local community doesn't have to be giving shit away. But, like, just being involved locally helps you build your restaurant. That really helped me a lot.
Did the ice cream begin at MK?
Yeah. Well, the ice cream started at Pratt's, and it was just on my dessert menu at MK. So I remember, like, a brand new Carpigiani gelato machine that was a counter. Like, I never thought in a million years I'd ever need it. That was, like, the shit I needed. Brand new one was, like, 10 grand. And then, like, used ones were, like, 7. So I get, like, this used ass old, like, the first model of the one that I wanted, like, 20-year-old model for, like, $1,900. I drove to, like, Brooklyn. The guy just sold it to me. And I remember, like, I was so happy I got this machine. And it wasn't even 3-phase or anything, 2-phase. So you could plug it in the wall, right? Like, that's how old it was. And I was so excited to make ice cream with it that I drove to my father's repair shop in Bronx. And I literally cleaned it out right there. I went to the grocery store. I went to MP. I got, like, vanilla extract, milk cream. I went up to Rosie's restaurant right around the corner, and I got some vodka because vodka is, like, you know, doesn't freeze. It's a stabilizer. I made shop ice cream right there. I'm watching this machine, like, spin and make ice cream. And
That's dedication.
Dude, I was so excited, you know? I was like, and it's a regular plug. I could just do this today. I could do this right now. So I made, like, shop ice cream. And I'm like, taking a while. You know? It worked. But it took, like, 20 minutes to turn out this, like, 2-quart batch of ice cream.
For the record, is that not typical?
Yeah, not typical. It should
Not at
take,
all.
like, 10 minutes, you know, for a little countertop, you know. And once it's cold, maybe, whatever. Yeah, 10 minutes is probably a good number. But, and those are, like, that's the machine you see on Chopped. Like, that's the one you see at, like, regular kitchens. Like, you know, no one's really running in, like, an ice cream.
No, it's not industrial.
Yeah.
It's for the housewife at home that wants to
It's
figure
the
out how to
housewife
do
version of a professional,
Gotcha.
you know,
Yeah.
gelato machine.
Like the
right?
top of the line housewife version.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. So that was my only vessel to make ice cream in for the farmer's market, for whatever. This thing was breaking nonstop, and I'm, like, really not the most handy person in the world. I remember at one point the machine had, like, a ratchet strap around it to keep the front plate on. It was like Frankenstein. It was blowing up, literally blowing up every time I would make ice cream. I'm like, oh my God, I need this ice cream ready. Farmer's market, blah, blah, blah. And then it got to the point where, you know, we bought still, you know, if COVID didn't happen, we'd probably buy another one of these, but because we're going to need it. But right now we have a $30,000 gelato machine from Italy that's water cooled, 3-phase, and pumps out 8 gallons of product in 6 minutes. It's like a beast.
That's pretty badass.
It's a beast. Yeah, dude, it's a beast. So just watching this shit come out of the mouth of it, I'm like the first time ever, I was like, yeah, this is
makes
what
sense.
this is what I needed. Like,
This is what I was missing.
yeah, dude, this thing had ratchet straps around it. Like, I used it to the last possible.
That's the one that was downstairs, right?
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember seeing that.
You know, I love the Westchester Health Department. They are awesome, and I'm not saying this like in a bad way. Like they really will work with you. Like they're not trying to like destroy you and like get fines out of you. They're like, listen, dude, fix this. I'm coming in 2 days. This isn't fixed. It's over. Like, you know. So we built a prep area downstairs that weren't licensed to build. The guy's like, yeah, you didn't hand in any drawings or anything. I'm like, but it's all legal, right? He's like, technically, yeah. It's like, give a month to get these drawings like approved, dude. Like, whatever. So we get it all approved, and now we're working on the basement.
This
There's-
is at the
MK,
auto.
yep.
Okay.
No,
okay.
MK, yeah. So, sorry. So that little machine started the ice cream business,
Gotcha.
the farmers market, and everything. Like
Gotcha.
that shitty ass machine. We were overworking the crap out of it, and it was like 18 years old.
You have it in like a glass case at the new Bona place now?
I thought about it. I'm like, fuck that shit. Let's just throw it out. Yeah, doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm sure there's a picture somewhere on Instagram. Yeah, right. I think like Ben and Jerry's has like
Right,
their
their
first
first one.
gas station shop. Like it's all like retroed out. Like, you know. No, I really didn't care. Just throw it out. Let's get the new one and go move forward. But yeah. So now we have the new machine, but it's in the basement. Basement has no windows. So in the summer, it's so hot. Like it's
It sounds
melting.
like the perfect work environment. What do you mean?
Yeah, dude. It's
No,
like
it's so much fun.
The more the same, you know? So if it rains, the floor's flooding. If it's hot out, it is like it's ice cream's melting as soon as it comes out of the machine. And if it's cold, there's no insulation and no anything. It's just like fucking everything's frozen so bad. So bad. And then like another part that no one understands with the ice cream business is like you need storage. Like you want to make a big batch of ice cream that's gonna get you like through the week, whatever, 2 weeks. Okay.
Those quarts are big. Those
Where are you gonna
gallons are
put?
big.
Where are you gonna put 23-gallon tubs?
Mom, get the phone. We're recording a fucking podcast here.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome.
He's so mad.
It's authentic.
So we had like that was awesome. So we have like freezers outside with tarps on them. If it rains too much, ice cream's getting destroyed. Like it was just so bad. And like we're so busy. We have like truck events in the city and like smorgasburgs going on. And, like all this stuff's happening. It's like all the like the email. Like I'm so like I love my email in the morning. All this amazing, crazy stuff that I never would imagine is happening. Trips to Japan. All like it's just awesome.
This is a result of Chopped.
It's a result of the ice cream. Yeah, the ice cream business. Ice cream business starts blowing up.
So you went to Japan for they want to do like a smorgasbord over
We
there,
did
right?
Smorgasburg twice
Yeah.
in Japan.
Badass.
Well, hold on. This is why this needs to be like a 4-part episode with
You
this
guys
entire
fucked me up. I have to make meatballs
crazy
tomorrow,
life
and I have to
story.
get up at 5 a.m. now.
Listen,
Fine.
I-
Meatballs are gonna be ready.
get-
You have to.
quickly run me through how
So ice cream company starts doing its thing. It's like this
the ice
really
cream
cool,
company was
unique-
separate underneath MK.
Yeah, we're working
completely
in the
separate.
basement, yeah.
Okay, you're working in the basement.
Working in the basement.
You're making ice cream. You're crushing
the
it,
basement.
and it's still Bona Bona at that point.
Yeah, well, like we're getting featured here and there, right? And so like people are like, oh, so cool. I want Bona ice cream. So they're showing up to the restaurant at like 3 in the afternoon, and we're only open for dinner. Like a family comes up, and they're like so confused. Like this is the right address, but it says Madison Kitchen. Like what the fuck? Like where's
We
my
just want
rainbow
our ice
cookie
cream.
ice cream? Yeah. So like now you have to explain it, right? But like the cool thing is you're building hype around the product, right? Because you can't get it unless you're in Williamsburg or at the restaurant during dinner hours or at the farmer's market, whatever, right? So it's like really hard to get. It's another note for young children trying to come up in this
Make your shit
terrible
exclusive.
business. Yeah, make it really hard to get, because then you can build some hype around it. Some annoying guy is gonna post on Instagram, and you're gonna want to get it, then you can't. Like, yeah,
Kid walks up to the truck to try to get ice cream. Nicky hits him with the, "You get your ticket?
yeah, exactly.
No, you don't have it.
Show
Kick
me your
it."
wristband.
Yeah,
Not
show
for
me your
nothing.
wristband.
Not for nothing. Just this afternoon, I saw an article about a restaurant that I believe is opening up in Florida on a members-only business model. Starting in 2021, their restaurant's only going to be open to their members. In 2022, it'll be open to the public.
Cool. Yeah,
Exclusivity.
that's like Rayo's. So many like spots.
Yeah.
Do that. I'm not saying like that's what Bona was, but it was just like we were running two businesses at one place, and like everybody's confused.
I saw the phase 1 like cart, like the push cart Bona
Dude,
Bona, right? That
so-
was the first thing you started with.
that cart. So you learn like it's a cold plate freezer, and it's made in America. That fucking cart, I think I got it for like $1,800. Like one of the best things I ever bought. It's still alive, and we still use it. It's just amazing. I mean, I would roll that cart up the hill before I got like a ramp for my pickup truck. I was like, man, rolling this thing up the hill sucks. I need a fucking ramp. Like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm sweating balls just rolling a freezer filled with ice cream up a hill. But like that's how it all starts. I mean, you got to work hard and like not spend a lot of money and like have a really good idea. And like it all starts from a good idea or a good product or so,
Idea, cost low, profit margin.
Yeah. I mean,
It makes sense.
these are
And no decay also.
Yeah.
Which you don't have to deal with the products once they're frozen.
But I mean, like, if you could start off small and build some hype, like a farmer's market or whatever, before you go into a full-blown, like, life-sucking vessel like a restaurant, like, do it. Build hype and only expand if and when you need to. Don't try to overshoot it.
Not too big, too fast, which
Yeah.
you see so many guys
So
wind
many.
up doing.
There's so many. And, like, you want to grow, awesome, but, like, you only grew because you had a good team, right? It's not you. It's people around you. So, good luck building another team. Like, it's going to take you the same amount of time it took you to build your first team. And if it doesn't, you're lucky as hell. And maybe you get 2-3 places, whatever. But, like, you see it a lot. Like, unless you have this ultimate sellout plan where, like, someone is going to be interested to buy or whatever, like, and you only have to show certain things, cool. But, like, if you want to do the right thing, it's a lot of work, like the moving parts aspect.
You're right too, because a lot of people underestimate the value of their team and like how much they actually do for them. Right before you walked in, we had a team meeting. It's probably the best service staff we've had on in a while, dealing between the COVID and this thing and that thing. But their sales are like through the roof, and they sell specials through the roof, and everybody's always in a good mood.
Yeah,
So it's like
it's game changer.
they hold you up, right? Because they buy into what you're putting down.
If so, like for example, we're Madison Kitchen Monday, we're turning people away, right? It sucks. Imagine that, because you're capped out. You could only do a certain number. But okay, so what do you do now? How do you get more sales? Better staff, right? So you train the staff more. Hey guys, the drink's over. Ask them for another one. I'm down for another drink. I put myself in a customer's perspective constantly because I am a customer, right?
Right below my 50% mark, I want to be asked again if I'm getting another drink.
Yeah.
Set me up. And if I'm as close proximity as the bar on my side of things, you're almost down there. You want me to set you up in a couple minutes?
But if you
and
made
then
me
you're
wait too
preemptively
long,
selling.
if you made me wait too long and I'm already done my meal, now I'm like 35, old and tired, I don't want another drink.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I would have had 2 more though before.
Yeah.
I would have been giggling with my friend talking about the dumbest shit in the world, right? And you would have got another $24 out of me. Times 2, $50. Your percentage of sales goes up. You're going to get tipped 20% on 50. You just made money by offering a drink.
Correct.
And the restaurant sales go up, your tips go up. That's how it works. But it's hard to get people to understand. You're in this business.
I think it's
Get fucked up after work.
Yeah.
it's evident that we're not covering all the bases that we need to cover today alone as it is.
Yeah,
and I kind of want to be able
about the
to
sprinkler room or the boozy
So much.
milkshakes.
No, let's not even go into it yet.
I'm just
Let's-
saying. I'm naming the things we didn't even get to. That's all I'm
Listen,
saying.
after the new year, let's pull Nicky back into the podcast and talk
down.
really deep into the ice cream side of things because I don't know shit, and I still feel like our listeners don't know shit, except for your story and going into the ice cream. But there's still so much more to talk about.
We just got to bring you back on a non-Depot day.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, non-Depot day, so we could sit
And
here
then don't
and-
go to the depot anymore. Like that was such a big aspect of my life. Like I graduated.
I saw you at
How-
Depot
how-
one time, and I yelled out. I was like, "Yo, Nicky Scoops!" Right? You remember? I was like,
He did the thing
probably
with
like
his
a
head.
year
Like,
ago. I
fuck.
was like, "Yo, Nicky Scoops!" And then I changed. And then I saw on your Instagram all of a sudden it changed to Nicky Scoops. Was that because I called
Bro.
you Nicky Scoops?
No.
Or was it already Nicky Scoops? Like, do I
It
get?
just
Do
happened.
I get to?
No,
say,
it just happened.
All
Like
right.
you go to the bar, people are calling you Scoops. Like everyone's calling me Scoops. I just got.
I really wanted it to be on me. I was
You
like,
did.
"Yo, I gave him."
No,
that
yeah,
name.
everyone. You're a part of it. Yeah, everyone's calling me Scoops.
There you go. Thank you.
Like I just got a dog a couple months ago. I love my dog. Right? he's like going to be a massive Doberman. He's like just the coolest dude ever, but he's so sweet. Like literally my dog gets racially profiled. We'll go to like Playland Beach and like all these Karens are like grabbing their like little like schnauzer and they're like, oh, he's vicious. 8 minutes later, they stole my dog for 40 minutes and they're playing Frisbee and like, oh, he's so handsome. Such a well-behaved dog. Like, yeah, what the fuck did you think?
Yeah, it's understandable.
So but people were like, yo, dude, name your dog Sprinkles. I was like, I can't name my 120-pound Doberman Sprinkles.
You
I
could.
just can't.
You could, though. That would be
totally
so...
could.
I could have. I can't now. He knows his name.
What's his name?
Hayes. Hayes.
Okay.
He's an English lad. Yeah.
I'm not mad.
Yeah, I'm not mad, but Sprinkles would have been good.
Sprinkles would have been epic. I couldn't come to the conclusion of like yelling, Sprinkles, come here, Sprinkles. Like, it's just too much. Yeah,
There were definitely some situations
not for
where
me.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
want to call my
that's not
dog.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring Nick back on and talk fully in depth into Bona because there's still so much to cover there. We'll talk a little bit more in depth about Chopped. If you're listening to this right this moment, the
There's
next
a new cooking
episode.
show actually coming out.
I was talking.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, Daddy.
What's the new cooking show?
So I was really bored this summer because like work came to like sudden halt. So other than gaining 15 pounds and drinking more, I was like, fuck it, I have time. So I get hit up like here and there from like production companies, and like it's just whatever, it's just a part of like the gig. Like they're not really interested in me. It's just like, hey, maybe because you were on a show once, we can get you on again. So I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. So there's gonna be a cooking show on Food Network that's gonna come out soon that I competed on.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's the heads up.
That's like,
soon
yeah.
in like 2 months or what?
I don't know. It was
All right,
filmed.
it doesn't
It'll be
matter.
out.
Can you tell us the name of the show?
Maybe next time.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna pull you back on like a month, right after the holidays done and things
Yeah.
are a little bit calmed down. If you're listening to this right now,
Maybe we'll come to the ice cream shop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
if you're listening to this right now, hit the follow button on your Apple, your iTunes, your Spotify, whatever you're listening to this shit on.
Yeah, but wait. One more question. What's your favorite flavor ice cream to make?
It's hard. People are like, "What's the best seller?" I'm like, "I don't know. What do you like?"
No, your favorite one to make. What's the one you're most
to
proud
make?
of? Yeah.
Depends. Everyone kind of has a weird story. I think the mint one's just so like different, unique. But like the rainbow cookie kind of started the whole thing, you know. Oh, dude, it's all the same right now, you know. But, you know,
You guys
all
want
the
to pick
same.
a favorite child.
Not even that. It's just like it's just work, you know. It's just work, man.
That's the honest
You know,
answer.
it's just work.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, and like it switches. Like I'm good with just like vanilla. Like, you know what actually is weird? Owning an ice cream shop now. My friends make fun of me. I have an ice cream shop. Like we're gonna go to the ice cream shop. Like, fuck you. I fucking like sprinkles. Sprinkles are so good. Sprinkles are so good. Like, I can't eat ice cream now without sprinkles.
Seriously?
People are like, "Oh, can I have sprinkles?" I'm like, "Yeah, you do." I'm like, like, "Yeah, you want these
Do you guys
sprinkles?"
like make your own sprinkles?
No, man. Nobody makes their own sprinkles. That'd be dumb, man. No way. They'd be like, "Oh my god, I just spent $42 on 3 scoops of ice cream. They have organic homemade sprinkles." No way. It would never happen, dude. It would never happen. Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
If you're not following the Instagram Waiting on Fries podcast, you find all the information when we pull them back in a month or so. If you're listening to this right now, the next episode, hit the follow button. We're going to talk to Christian Petroni about Fortina and a little bit of Chopped and whatnot too. If you're listening to this then hit the follow button anyway. And then the next episode that's about to play for you is Lila Rose, and we talked to JJ. Our podcasts are weird because you listen to it forward and back.
so
you
I'm
know?
so confused.
Don't worry about it. Hit
You
the
guys.
algorithm trail.
Yeah.
Really, you
Guys,
Yeah.
don't forget to
Meet
hit
me
that.
at this time. It's way too late. You're not organized.
Yeah.
You guys. Phone's ringing. Mom keeps calling. This is bullshit, guys.
Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button, guys, because, algorithms.